Hey guys, Eminem Gaming here, and today I'll be talking about sort of just future sort of thoughts in my mind about the PlayStation, PlayStation VR, and all the good stuff that they're bringing to the console. So this is again just an opinion video, it's a thoughts video. If you don't like that stuff, I do apologise. I haven't been too well, so I haven't been doing much gameplay. You'll see a bit of Final Fantasy VII in the background, but yeah, let's get into it. So there's a few topics I want to talk about. It's ironic I'm talking about the future, but we will be talking about PS2 emulation, my thoughts on it, thoughts on pricing, what games I want, and whether it's worth it at the end of the day. I'll be talking about PlayStation Now, and I'll also be talking about PlayStation VR, and just genuine the future, what I think the future is going to be like for the PlayStation brand. Now again, I might be, you look at my predictions video for PSX, I got none of them right. Well, actually, no, I did say there's going to be a lot of indies that not a lot of people are going to care about, but the PlayStation community are going to like them. And I think I was right in that. There was definitely some wacky ones, some crazy ones, some that I don't even know what the hell I watched, but awesome stuff. And yeah, we'll get into it now, boys. And we're going to talk about probably, in my opinion, the biggest thing and the most exciting thing. Even if it's a failure, I'm excited for it, and that is PlayStation VR. Now, I've got to admit to you guys, do not like the name. That's the first thing. Off on a good note. Do not like the name. Not because PlayStation VR is not a smart name, of course, for the average consumer, PlayStation VR. You know what that is. It says it on the tin, and they like to keep it very short and sweet. And understand that PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4. We're guessing PlayStation 5 will be the next one. So, no, I understand that and I respect that. But how cool did Morpheus sound? Let's be honest with you guys. Morpheus just sounded just badass and awesome. So I do hope I'll be calling it Morpheus, but it is PlayStation VR. Just thoughts on that from the PlayStation experience and all that. Now, I've got to admit, what I'm going by is a lot of the guys I know on Twitter, or not know personally, but I see on Twitter, I'm on their YouTube channels and all that good stuff. And, obviously they're going to have a more full experience than me. See, when that conference ended, my PlayStation experience is over. It's over, you know what I mean, for me. But they had 2 days of just greatness, games, fun, the Capcom Cup. They got to watch, PS I Love You XOXO, which is an awesome podcast. So yeah, their thing extended. Now, it was very interesting. I was watching earlier actually on the PlayStation YouTube channel. Developer from a game I just can't wait for PlayStation VR, and that's Rigs, Mechanical Robot something League. But this looks a really ambitious game, and I think they're really pushing what you can do. You can aim with your head and all that, so you're more accurate, but also gives, someone like me who absolutely terrible at aiming, doesn't have the quickest reactions with my hands, can actually aim with my head, and it's a lot more accurate and a lot more new player friendly. And I think that's really cool and very smart move. What you don't want is something very difficult to pick up, because no one's going to use it. You get the few here and there who just like to show off, what I mean, like with Bloodborne, Dark Souls. Yeah, but for the average person like me, it's an ordeal if we do it, and it's very difficult. So yeah, I think the future of PlayStation VR is very bright, but I have one problem with it, and I don't like to be negative on my channel. You know that, guys. If you watch my videos, I'm always try and stay positive with anything, but I always put a critique, as it were. Something negative, just to be fair on all sides. The PlayStation conference, okay, was the wrong way to show PlayStation VR. Now let me explain. They showed you standing up. Obviously, they had tech problems. We understand that. But to be fair, so did Uncharted 4. It had tech problems at E3. But I can guarantee you people are going to buy Uncharted 4. So that doesn't matter so much, in my opinion. It was the way they showed VR, how you use it. Even with Rez, you've got a guy in a massive suit, and it looked awesome, don't get me wrong. It looked absolutely amazing, him flashing and lighting and all this suit on. But that's not how you sell VR to the masses. The beautiful thing about having a console, or at least a stipulation, because obviously you can do this with a PC, let's just get that right, but is the ease of having your console plugged up to your TV, you sat on your backside, and you can just turn it on and get on with your gaming. The problem is, they've shown you having to stand up. Now, I know this sounds incredibly lazy, but let me explain. You get home from a long day at work, you just want to sit on your, like I say, sit on your backside and play your games, You don't want to have to stand up and move and throw your arms around and all that. It's not the most strenuous of activities, don't get me wrong, but that's why, games like Just Dance and everything, then no one's really buying them, and if they do buy them, they don't use them. So I think they showed you having to use your arm, these move controllers, when the fact is, even though you'll probably need, or it will come with a move controller, you can use the PlayStation 4 controller, I believe. Again, if I'm wrong, guys, please let me know, but as far as I'm aware, from what I've heard, you can use the PlayStation 4 controller in these games. You need to literally sit someone down and show them with a controller playing on the TV. That's what you need in their mind, not this strenuous activity. Again, that's just my opinion, but I think that they need to get away from that. That sort of brand of, sort of stuff, because oh, sorry guys, coughing there. Because that's just not the image I think you want VR to be around. I think you want it to be sold not as a gimmick, but as an actual gaming platform. So yeah, that's my only gripe about how they've marketed it. But in terms of games, man, there is just some awesome games. Now, was there anything? I mean, you look on the PlayStation 4 store, 30 million consoles sold, some fantastic exclusive AAA games, some fantastic indies. But there's a lot of shovelware and there's a lot of trash. Like, I ain't even going to lie. I haven't got every game on the PS4 store, and I damn sure won't, because some of them are not very good. But you need that. You do need that, guys. You need some shovelware. You need some stuff that, I'll play 5 minutes of this. Do you know what I mean? You need games like 100-foot robot golf, and you need... It might not sound like you need it, but you do. But I don't believe at a press conference ever you should show this stuff. When you've got games like Rigs, which looks so fun, so inviting, and just looks like an absolute amazing, going to probably be launch game with the PlayStation 4. That's the stuff you need to show, man. And maybe they will at E3 and when they get the launch date, all that sort of stuff. No Man's Sky, I'm guessing it's going to be PlayStation VR. No confirmation, but it'd be perfect. I would love No Man's Sky VR. Sat here exploring planets, looking at all these weird, wonderful animals, while just being able to look at everything, being fully immersed. As well as, Robinson the Journey, which looks... Crytek do some fantastic work. And Crytek are going to do a fantastic job on that. So, I can't wait for Robinson the Journey. Dinosaurs. Look, I love two things. Robots and dinosaurs. That's why I love Horizon Zero Dawn, because it's got both of them. This has got one, but it looks great. That's going to be awesome. I think, if you can get a few games like, Everyone's Gone to the Rapture and those sort of games where you kind of a walking simulator, which gets a bad press, but I love them. Do you know what I mean? Where you can just sit, relax, and have a brilliant story that you learn yourself. They put that in there, and also a guy told me on Twitter that Final Fantasy 14 is actually going to be used in PlayStation VR, which is awesome. You know, not competitive game, but it's an online-based game and it's an RPG, and definitely showing variety. And I think that's cool. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely that'd be cool to have. So they seem to have the right things going for PlayStation VR. I think in the future, PlayStation VR is going to be more than a gaming system. But for now, I think if they can just get the third party involved, you know, maybe implement it in a few places, get a few people who generally are interested. There's no point shoehorning this stuff in, but a few people who are generally interested on these games, and yeah, I think you're going to get some fantastic products of their hard work, especially Guerrilla Games game. I just cannot wait. So yeah, that's my thoughts on VR, guys. I think it has the potential to be a success with the way Sony are marketing it. I think they've learnt a lot from PlayStation Move, VR, and all that sort of stuff. I think they're on the right track, and let me know, guys, are you going to pick one up? If you don't have the money, and I understand that, I might not have the money at the time, is it something you're interested in the future? You know, let me know about that. But yeah, let me know on that, guys. I can't wait for it. It looks awesome. Next up, I wanted to talk about going from the future, VR, all these implementations that come from VR to something a little older, and that's PlayStation 2 emulation. Now, there's been a lot of outcry, I believe, on social media, YouTube, and I understand, fully, why people are annoyed, because, they feel like, I bought this game, I should get the game again. I understand that. The problem is that I don't think people are realising is this is not the same game you've got on your PS2 disc. This is a different game, slightly, okay? They've added stuff to it, it's got remote play, share play, it's got trophy support, it's got higher resolution, it's got a better frame rate. So it's one of them things, it is a different game, as well as I don't believe you can actually use the discs. These are 14-year-old discs. I don't believe you can use them in a PlayStation 4 2016-15. It just doesn't work, and I know it's frustrating, but that's just one of the things. But I believe the main frustration from a lot of gamers is not the fact that you've got to buy these games again. I think a lot of people are realistic that these games you can't just put your disc in. Do you know what I mean? These are old discs. I think the frustration comes at the pricing. Now I'm going to go with the US, but there is a PlayStation. It's on the UK PlayStation, but I'm going to go with the US pricing of $15. Now $15 is the Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and Grand Theft Auto Vice City, as well as Dark Cloud, Rogue Legacy, and something else. Master of Cree, which, when you're talking about PlayStation 2 classics, I wouldn't think Master of Cree, or whatever it's called. Might even not be the name. But my opinion is, it's kind of I don't want to seem like I'm just accepting what Sony's doing, but it's the same price on the PC. San Andreas on the PC is $15, and obviously, don't get me wrong, you can play that 4K, you can play it on 8K, 20K, I don't even know. You can play it on something. I'm not big into PC gaming, but oh, sorry guys, coughing, bad throat. Yeah. I feel like it should be cheaper, but in my opinion, it's one of them things. I'm not going to complain about it. Now, let me explain why I'm not going to complain about it. Sony don't seem to really win no matter what they do. They give you PlayStation 2 emulation, people are annoyed. If they give you PlayStation 1 emulation, if you give them an option of PlayStation 3 games through PlayStation Now, which we will speak, smooth segue into PlayStation Now, but they moan. My opinion is, for games like Dark Cloud, if you want a Dark Cloud 3, this is a way of showing your support to them, especially if they were to put, SOCOM or Crash. If you want the games, you've got to support these. But in terms of GTA, that's going to sell. They're going to make a sixth one. It's going to sell. I don't think you're going to have to worry too much about that. But yeah, I think it's very expensive. But I think it's down to personal preference. I think I will be picking up a few of these games. I'm actually excited for Parappa the Rapper, which is probably a surprising one to pick, but I do like Parappa the Rapper. And yeah, just down to personal preference. And it's just one of them things where if you don't want it, just don't use it. I don't understand the complaining, but hey, that's just me. But yeah, PlayStation Now. Now it's had a yearly price thing set in place of $100 a year. That is actually a really good price. Now let me explain why it's a good price. I think it's about £80 a year, but they constantly update the things. They've just had all the Batman games put on there. Mortal Kombat 9, I think, 8, 9, something like that, put on there. You got the Lego games on there, which I love Lego games. That's a possible temptation for me if I did not have bad internet. And the brilliant thing is, even though it's not, it is a bit expensive, but it's a lot cheaper. You're saving. So it's about $8 a month. If you get the year, it's $8 a month, which is actually pretty cheap. If you think about the massive library they've got of PS3 games, especially if you're a trophy hunter, it's no brainer. Unless you're like me. Now, I may get it, I may have a think about it, but it will be depending on my internet at the time, because I've got just really bad internet. I can't stream the games. A bit of a waste of money for me. But if you've got good internet, you like trophies, you like some of them games, yeah, man, you got to check it out. It's a fantastic price. And the brilliant thing is, you've got all these games. If you want to play The Wolf Among Us and The Last of Us and Resistance 3 and Lego Batman, the list just goes on, and you can have them all at the same time. With a rental service, you maybe get 1-2 games for that price. This, even though they're older games, I get the point. They're older games, PS3 games. Even though, they're older games, I feel like you are getting a good service from them, in my opinion. And I think if I can get my internet sorted a bit, when that's sorted out, definitely a no-brainer for me as a bit of a trophy hunter. And yeah, I think it's awesome. And yeah, let me get, again, like I say, with any of these topics, guys, if you disagree, make sure to let me know, and talk about that. But yeah, something I agree with PlayStation Now. And at first I was like, everyone says Sony's broke, which is funny because they spent 650 million on Daikai. Is it Daikai, something like that? And yeah, that's not a move of a broke company. But obviously they ain't got Microsoft money, they ain't got McDonald's money. But they have, they're not a poor company. Let's get that straight. But yeah, I think it's definitely something. If you guys are interested in any of them games, I think it's a good value price now. Make sure to check the list out. But yeah, and then just in general, guys, I just want to just think about the future of PlayStation in the way they're taking it. Um, I think they're really going full out in terms of E3, Paris Games Week, possibly Gamescom. I don't think they'll bother with Gamescom because of the success of Paris Games Week. But Tokyo Game Show was amazing, man. I love Tokyo Game Show. Um, and you look at some of the AAA games we got this year, for next year, Neo, which I can't wait for. Is it Team Ninja or Tetra Ninja or something? Man, that game looks awesome. I can't wait to get it. If it comes with a collector's edition with a little ninja sort of guy, I'm going to be all over that. Uncharted 4, The Last Guardian, possibly Detroit Beyond Human, or I don't even know what it's called, but it's awesome. uh, Gran Turismo Sport, Paragon, possibly. All these amazing, AAA games that are going to be exclusive either on the PC or the PlayStation 4, which is awesome. And I definitely think, if you look historically with the PlayStation, they sort of kind of start out a bit shaky the first 2 years. I mean, we've had a fantastic game in Bloodborne, masterpiece in my opinion. Infamous Second Son was so much fun. My first ever platinum. You got Order 1886. A lot of people hate it. I loved it. Little Big Planet 3. But it's not been a PS2. It's not been a PS1 library at this moment. So I'm hoping definitely next year, there's like a AAA game coming out every month, which we think's good. You think it's good, guys, honestly, but it's not on your wallet, especially with PlayStation VR, especially with some cool indies like Hot Shots Golf and Shadow of the Beast and Alien Nation and The Tomorrow Children and all these amazing exclusives. Yeah, it's going to be an expensive year. And but as PlayStation, as gamers and PlayStation fans, we'll find the money from somewhere, sell the cat or something. got to do something. But I think really positive in the future, and I think that the IPs that they have at their disposal is beyond touchable. I don't think anyone's got the IPs that PlayStation own. They own SOCOM. They own no, they don't own Crash Bandicoot. That was a lie. I do apologise, guys, but I'm sure we'll see Crash. I'm pretty positive, guys. E3, Paris Games Week, we'll see Crash back. They've just got to buy him off Activision, who don't really want to do anything with the IP, so it would make sense. Games like The Last of Us is probably being worked on by a very small team. Horizon Zero Dawn, obviously 2016 game, but you assume Guerrilla have another IP. If not, they've got Killzone, which is a big franchise. Resistance, Sony owns the IP. Ratchet and Clank, Sony owns the IP, which obviously we're seeing next year. Sly Cooper, Infamous. The list just goes on and on and on. And even games like The Legend of Dragoon and Castlevania Symphony of the Night, these are all Sony-owned IPs, which, if they click their fingers, or, well, it's not really clicking the fingers, it's putting tens of millions of dollars into a game, but if they do want it, they can put it out. And I definitely think, I saw a tweet from Shuei Yoshida, because I obviously follow him, he's really interacts with his fans, and they were asking, we want a SOCOM game, can we just have like a single player SOCOM game through backwards compatibility or emulation? And he says that's not what the fans want. So I definitely think this generation, not previous generations, to be fair, PS3 not at the start, let's be honest here, later on definitely, they were smashing games out left, right and centre. Not at the start though. They didn't have connection with their fan base. I think they're listening a lot more now. And and they know what the fans want, and I think that's really cool. Um, but yeah, guys, I've been rambling on for 25 minutes about PlayStation, the future. Obviously, I'm really excited, as you can probably tell, about the future of PlayStation. I feel like it's moving in the right direction. There were some really iffy times on the PlayStation 3 where like we thought Sony was going out of business. I think they've nailed it down with their marketing now, and yeah, like I say, I've just named a few off the top of my head IPs, and there is bar none, including Nintendo, who have some fantastic IPs. I love Nintendo's IPs with like Mario and uh, uh, Zelda and Smash Brothers and Mario. I mean, it's Mario, but Mario Kart and all that. Even Splatoon sold over 1 million. Bayonetta, all these Bayonetta's a third party, but you know what I mean, guys. Um, I think bar none, PlayStation has the best exclusives and the most exclusives, because obviously best is opinion. I may think, for example, Riggs looks amazing. To someone else, it looks like trash. It's one of them things, guys. But make sure to let me know what you think, guys, of the future of PlayStation. Do you think it's positive? Do you think they're doing the right things? Do you think are you really happy if you're a PlayStation owner? The way things are moving? Do you not care either way? Let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll leave you with a little more Final Fantasy gameplay as I stop talking now. So have a good day, guys, and I'll see you soon.